but I got things to do. It's so much to be your boyfriend, too much. And you ain't making this much easier. If I only knew when I used to.
We're making blueberry scones, and I honestly think they're gonna become a weekend staple because they came out way better than I expected. I loved the texture and they were so flavorful, so this is how I made them. 3 cups of AP flour, a 1/3 cup of sugar and brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, the zest of 1 lemon, and a tablespoon of baking powder, as well as a teaspoon of cinnamon and a 4th teaspoon of nutmeg. Give it a good stir, then add in 1 stick of cold unsalted butter chopped. You're basically going to knead the mixture with your hand until it turns into a sand-like texture. Now for our wet ingredients, you're going to add 1 egg and 3/4 cups of heavy cream, a tablespoon of fresh lemon juice, and a teaspoon and a half of vanilla extract. Mix, and then you're going to add your wet ingredients into your dry ingredients. Mix into a rough dough, then you want to add in about a handful of fresh blueberries. Add your dough to a lightly floured surface, and you want to knead it until it's somewhat smooth. Then you're going to pat it down into a circle and cut out 8 triangles. Add to a prepared baking sheet, and you want to brush with egg wash and bake at 365 for about 20 to 30 minutes, and you're done.
Asian Alfredo, let's go. Honestly, add cayenne pepper, onion, and garlic powder, parsley, black pepper, slap your mama, it's the holy grail, garlic paste, and a little bit of olive oil mixed well. Cook down in some butter and some oil, set aside, cut up very nicely just like that. Cook down your garlic and a little bit of butter, add your heavy cream. I use Parmesan and Italian cheese blend, cook that down, add my fettuccine, top with some parsley and slap your mama, season to taste, add your chicken, your broccoli mixed well, add more seasoning if you need, top with Parmesan, and oh my god, this is so good. Let me know how you like it when you try it.
Today we're making one of my favorite little breakfast meals, which is avocado toast, but with a little twist. So to make this cute little breakfast, you want to begin with toasting your bread. I'm using brioche here. While the bread is toasting, you want to take your avocado and cut it into very thin slices. You want to fan out your avocado as thin as possible, then roll it up like I'm doing here, and you should be left with the most beautiful rose shape. Around this time, your bread should be toasted, so go ahead and butter it up. Now in this video, I also added ricotta cheese. You can use cream cheese if you'd like, and smoked salmon. Add your avocado rolls right on top. I also made an egg for my other piece of toast. You can do that as well. Finish off your toast with some everything bagel seasoning and some basil, and you're done. Today we're making KFC's Nashville hot chicken tenders, and ever since that one girl went viral for eating them, I've been craving them. I know you guys are probably craving them too, so I'll be showing you guys how to make them, but 10 times better. So to begin, you want to season your chicken tenders with a tablespoon of paprika, a half a tablespoon of garlic powder and Cajun seasoning, and then drizzle with olive oil and then toss everything together. And for our flour mixture, I'm adding 1 cup of flour, a tablespoon of cornstarch, a teaspoon of baking soda, along with all of the seasonings that I have displayed on the screen for you guys, and you're going to mix it up and set it to the side. For our buttermilk mixture, I added 1 cup of buttermilk, 1 egg, and then you also want to add in a 4th cup of your favorite hot sauce. It doesn't matter what kind. Take your chicken tender, dip it into your buttermilk, then dip it into your flour, and you're going to repeat one more time just to ensure our chicken is nice and crispy. Fry on low to medium heat for about 6 minutes or until fully cooked, and you should be left with a beautiful crispy skin. Now for the best part, here I have a half a cup of the hot oil that we fried our chicken in, and I'm seasoning it with everything that you guys see on the screen, and you're going to go ahead and brush that on top of your chicken tenders. Go ahead and use your leftover hot oil mixture as a dip, and you're done.
3 veggies. Finish it off with soy sauce and sesame oil. Let's make crab cake stuffed salmon. Let's start by building our filling. Mayo, hot sauce, add your seasonings, and some fresh squeezed lemon. Add some crackers. Jumbo lump crab. Cut a slit right down the middle of your salmon. Now pile your crab filling on top. Top it with a little Creole seasoning. Toss these in the oven at 350 for about 10 minutes. Full recipe and details will be on my Instagram. There you go. That's the only cake we have left. And we got the enemy. We don't have the enemy.
Hey y'all, so I got invited to my friend's house just to hang out, so she said. But somehow I ended up in the kitchen, so I decided to make her some jerk shrimp and some salmon rasta pasta. Am I the only one who loves my rasta pasta spicy and creamy? Cause baby, this came out so spicy, but it was so good and enjoyable. And honestly, I'm about tired of people just using me to cook for them. But looking at this, I could see why, because I'd probably do the same goddamn thing.
Black people to leave this app, but let me tell you what we should do. Any person of color video that come across your For You page, like it, watch the whole video through and like it. I'ma leave a comment, even if it's just a laugh and giggle, match somebody else's words in the comment section. And I'm gonna send a video to my mama, and she don't even have a TikTok, but your shares are gonna increase in a way that's not just a copy link, because they done caught on to that. Let's support each other here, because it's nothing but an algorithm that somebody else gonna have to make on a different app. Let's beat this one.
Today I'm going to show you guys how to make the most cheesiest mac and cheese ever. To my cooked pasta, I added some butter, salt and pepper to taste, and a little bit of garlic powder. For the roux, you're going to need unsalted butter, heavy cream, milk, and some flour. For the cheeses, I use extra sharp yellow and white cheddar, Havarti, and Gouda cheese. Slowly add your cheese, and once the sauce is done, also add your pasta and stir well. I sprayed a pan down with some canola oil, added my mac and cheese, and I don't really time things, but I would say you could cook this on 325 for about an hour. If you like extra cheesy and gooey mac and cheese, I highly recommend this recipe. And thank you all so much for 300K. I literally love you guys so much.
Alright, so today we're making some curry chicken, you feel me? First of all, you gotta clean that chicken mad good. If the water's not running this clear right here, it's not clean enough. Wash it again, nasty. You feel me? Then we're gonna chop up some green peppers, red peppers, onions, scallions, put all that in the pot. This is the curry that I like to use. I'm not saying it's the best curry, but it definitely be bussin'. You feel me? Nobody really knows why they put paprika in things. Anyways, we gonna put all that in a pot and stir it up. It's supposed to look this beautiful. This looks amazing. Then we're gonna add some scotch bonnet, always some butter and all that. Let's see if it's good. You feel me? That's ready to be put to a boil. You know what I mean? Look at that. That looks amazing. All right, so after I add the coconut milk, y'all gonna be disappointed, because as you can see, this looks great. See, I forgot to take a picture of the finished product, so I'm gonna just send y'all what I ate last night.
She got long hair, pretty bitch, got a big booty, yeah, I gotta stare. Mama always told me I was different, I ain't got no fear. I don't eat the cat, that's why I probably don't got a beard. I can tell you about my life story, you ain't gotta care. Bitch keep calling me out my name, you ain't gotta swear. Nigga tried to tell me
Today
bad
we're making
advice.
Reese's peanut butter cup edible cookie dough. To begin, you need a 1/4 cup of sugar, a 1/2 cup of packed brown sugar, and 1 stick of room temperature butter unsalted, and you want to mix your butter and sugar together for at least 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, you want to add in 1 cup of AP flour, and I baked it at 350 for about 5 minutes. 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract, a 1/4 cup of peanut butter, a 1/2 cup of chocolate chips, a 1/2 cup of chopped Reese's, a dash of cinnamon, and then add in 3 tablespoons of milk while you're kneading it for... Why do I keep seeing mix for 5 minutes?
You said you're gonna eat light for suho, but end up making a whole damn meal. It does look lame though. Back to food wars.
At this point, I need to go ahead and buy me a deep fryer. And I don't know if I should call these salmon tenders or fish sticks. I mean, technically, salmon is a fish, and I made it into a stick form, right? So I seasoned my egg wash, because that's the same thing touching the salmon anyway. Of course, my usual garlic powder, onion powder, smoked paprika, original, and I added some seasoned salt. Once I covered the salmon completely, I went ahead and did my flour batter. And I used the same seasonings as I did as the egg wash. So I did all this when my oil was getting hot. So once I floured up the salmon, I put it right in the hot oil. And when they start floating and get a nice golden brown, they are ready to come out. And yes, I'm finna use my butter on everything. I made a honey garlic sauce. And I added just a pinch of salt to take down the sweetness. I heated my sauce for about 2-3 minutes. Tossed my salmon in it. Topped it with a little bit of parsley. And boom, honey garlic salmon tenders.
What you doing? Where you at? Oh, you got plans. Don't say that. Shut your trap. I'm sipping wine in a robe. I look too good.
I'm about to put y'all onto one of my favorite things to eat while growing up as a kid. We call these empanadas. These hold a special place in my heart because they bring back so many memories. My mom used to always make them for either dinner or especially family gatherings like Christmas, Thanksgiving, forget about it. Everybody knows that if my mom is coming, she's bringing empanadas. So along with the many things that she taught me how to cook while growing up, this is one of them, and now I'm here to put y'all on. I first prepared the beef, which I'll write all the ingredients on the screen. I then grated some cheddar cheese and then added that to the beef. Assembled the empanada and fried them until golden brown like my skin, baby. You already know. And this is how they came out. Bomb, ya tu sabe. What do you guys call these where you're from? Empanadas or empanadillas? Pastelillos? Beef patties? They bomb.
Tell me why my ex's new girl had the nerve to message me. And she was like, can I stop mentioning her man in my TikTok videos? Last time I checked, I never mentioned anyone's government name. I just say X. So how are you so sure that I'm talking about your man, sweetie? I promise I'm not worried about your man. I'm in Florida drinking out of pineapples. But since you tried it, this is a diss cooking video to my ex.
We're making homemade bread bowls, and I've already forgot what I was saying. We're making homemade bread bowls, and in my next video I'll be showing you guys how to make the mac and cheese that I stuffed them with, so keep your eye out for that. But right now I'm mixing together my meat mixture. What the heck? You want to let your yeast mixture rest for 10 minutes, then add in the rest of your ingredients, and you're going to knead your dough for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, go ahead and add your dough to an oil bowl and cover it and let it rest for 1 hour. 1 hour later, add your dough to a lightly floured surface, and you're going to separate it into 6 sections. Round them out into dough balls, and you're going to add them to a prepared baking sheet. Lightly score your dough, and you want to let it rest for another 30 minutes, and then after those 30 minutes, go ahead and brush it with egg wash, and we're going to bake at 350 for about 20 minutes or until they're the color that you prefer. The mac and cheese will be in my next video, as I already said, but we're done.
This is what I made my boyfriend for dinner. We kept it pretty simple, just a fried chicken sandwich and a couple different side dishes. I started with making the brioche buns. These are buttery, light, and fluffy, perfect for the sandwich. For the slaw, we have homemade pickles, fermented jalapenos, and some pickled red onions. And I dressed that with some of the pickle brine. For the sauce, this is my homemade hot sauce, a little bit of mayonnaise, a couple different spices, and some Dijon mustard. Then I dredged the chicken and fried that up. I also did a Caesar salad, just made up some croutons, homemade Caesar dressing, and finished it with a little bit of parm. And then I made some fries. I finished those off with some za'atar, Greek oregano, tarragon, a little bit of chives, and some feta. So for our sandwich, I toasted the buns with some clarified butter, hit it with some of the sauce, our fried chicken, and then our slaw. For those who are going to want the recipe, I promise if you wait for the cookbook, it'll be worth it. I just want it to be perfect for you. And that's it. Sheesh.
Stop scrolling and please help me spread the word, because if I've landed on your For You page, you're most likely either a black woman or someone who cares about black women, and the simple phrase I'm about to share could help save a black woman's life. Doctors are to black women what police officers are to black men. That may seem controversial, but I believe it to be true, and I speak from personal experience. If you've seen this TikTok, you know that a 2016 study showed that 50% of medical students and residents thought that black people couldn't feel pain the same as white people. And we learned from this video that because of a 1999 study, to this day, there's a black correction factor for the creatinine levels in black people's kidneys.
Who is you and who the fuck is you and who is them? All of a sudden, who after bam? You can't touch me, nah, 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 nah. I got angels. I got angels. I ain't changed my number since the 7th grade. This from my day 1, 10 years, 7 days. A week niggas never tired on their Kevin Gates. And if they rest in peace, they bunny hop in heaven's gates. It's too many young angels on the south side. Got us scared to let our grandmamas outside. You gon' make me take the campus way downtown. You gon' make me turn my BM to my house wide. I just had a growth spurt. It just took so long my tippy toes hurt. You can keep the nose ring. I don't have to soul search. I'm still at my old church. Only ever sold merch. Grandma say I'm kosher. Mama say I'm culture. GCI 1075. Angel going live. Power 92. Angel juke. Angel gone juke. GCI 107.
Let's make braised short rib. Chop up your veggies. If your carrots don't look like this, take them back. Just kidding, this is all they had today. I like to keep my carrots kind of thick so they don't get mushy. Season your short ribs with these. Brown those on each side until they have a nice crust. Remove the ribs, add the veggies. Add in about a half a bottle of wine. Add your ribs back to the pot and let that reduce for about half, to about half. Once reduced, add in beef stock, herbs, and garlic. Now toss it in the oven at 350 for about 2 hours.
team summer. Couple setbacks, bounce back and recover. The clip real small, but we making big moves and we headed to the.
And I'm down with it, oh no, no, oh no, no. She's confident, you tell by the way she walks in the room. She said it's that first time, I think she might have lied.
So today we're making chicken birria. To start, you're gonna grease your chicken, add your seasoning, get it nice and coated. Into a pot, you're gonna add your chicken, brown it, and then add equal parts chicken broth and water. After you get that all in there, you're gonna add some garlic, a whole onion, guajillo pepper, chili peppers, chicken bouillon, bay leaves, sugar, and then a whole can of tomato sauce. Once your peppers are nice and soft, you're gonna add it to a blender with your onions and your garlic. Add that back into the pot, and you're gonna shred your chicken up real nice. Add that back into the pot. Then you're gonna get your tortilla, dip it in the consomme, toast that up real good, flip it on both sides to get that extra crunch. Add your chicken to your tortillas, add a little cheese like so, like that. Get that nice and toasty on both sides. Then you're gonna add some onions, some guac, dip it in that consomme, and then let your brother try to make sure it's nice and tasty.